How's your day going, guys? My name is RenegadeTitan, and today is a slightly different video than what I've been doing in the past. It's probably either going to look like a review or a rant. Hopefully more like a review though, that's what I'm intending. But hopefully you enjoy it all the same, and I'm sorry if I sound horrible. I've got a cold. Over the last week or two, I've been playing a bit here and there of Destiny 2. I played the first Destiny game on the Xbox One and the DLCs, and I enjoyed it. And as I've been watching the guides and videos for Destiny 2, I've had them appear in my recommended videos, and a fair amount of them have been videos talking about the lack of content, the unfair advantages in PvP, and the player base sloping off and there being less people playing, but predominantly the main gripe has been the lack of endgame content. So this is just my 2 cents, and I'm only a small YouTuber, so it's up to you if you guys actually care about my opinion. But in Destiny 1 there was a fair amount of content, but you knew from the start there was going to be a decent amount of DLCs, and you were told early on they would offer more quests, more strikes, more challenges, highlight new weapons and armors, new exotic quests, and obviously the content most people looked forward to were the new raids, and that was per DLC. So my mindset ever since playing Destiny 1 has been, I know there's more content on the way. So I haven't really been too worried about the content just at the end of Destiny 1's base game. Now, the videos I've seen for Destiny 2 have had the flashy titles and the clickbait names that you get with YouTube, and most were doom and gloom videos which slammed the lack of endgame content, preventing players sticking on the game. But I think people are forgetting, and I almost did, forget about the DLCs and what they're going to offer, such as the new quests, new strikes, new weapons and armors, exotics, and the raid. So any additional content at the end of Destiny's base game, on top of what's already there, it's going to be outdated pretty quickly, you know, when the new DLCs arrive, or it'll be forgotten about. It won't offer you any improvement on your light or power level thanks to the new content, so there's no reason to do it, and people will complain to the developers, and then they will have to go back and revamp that content to be consistent with the new DLC. But then it's old content. Even though it's up to light level now, you'll be bored of having grinded it the first time round and you won't do it. It'll become dead content, and it will have been a cash sink and time sink for Bungie that they could have invested in other areas of the game, filling it out, or for example developing new game content for the later part of the Curse of Osiris DLC to yet again tide you over till that next DLC comes out. And in my eyes, what we have now isn't and will not be endgame content. I think Destiny 2 is the kind of game, or has been set up to be the kind of game, where you need to be prepared, or you should be prepared to buy the DLCs for it. You know, it's just the way Destiny is, and that's where its longevity comes from. Sorry. A lot of games now use DLCs to bulk out the game, but Destiny does it in a way much like World of Warcraft, just on a very smaller scale. New DLC means new max levels, new weapons and armors, new heroics, new raids. So what we currently have, I don't think is the endgame content. I think Judgment, or at least my judgment, is going to be reserved till all the DLCs are out, and then we see what Bungie does with the game in its final DLC. They'll allow us to keep playing it after they finish bringing them out. But every game does have an end until the developers, you know, choose to bring out a DLC. But even when they decide they're not going to drop a DLC, as long as you get a couple of days out of a game, I mean, usually I'm happy. Yes, games cost more now, but a few years ago a game had a storyline that you could usually blitz within a day. So now with the games where we get to play them for about a week, it's not half bad. But we all want a game to have evolving content that keeps us playing it. I think when people slam Destiny 2 for not having enough endgame content, what they're really trying to say is, I do actually enjoy this game quite a lot, and I think the answer is the DLCs, which unfortunately we just have to wait for. Now, a couple of the other problems that I've seen and heard about and everything, a lot of them are in PvP, and a couple of the bigger problems are being booted offline in Trials of the Nine, certain weapons like the sword being overpowered. Right now a lot of people are experiencing invisibility glitches in Trials of the Nine, or having your team booted off for an instant win for the opposite team, and those are actual problems that have existed since Destiny 1 and need to be fixed. And for that there is zero excuse from Bungie. They've existed in Destiny 1 on consoles, and now it's on PC for Destiny 2. And I'm not a computer genius by any means, but I would expect there to be more booting offline in matches because it's on PC. People have more knowledge on PC, or better software is capable of booting you, I don't know. In all honesty, I'm not 100% on how it's done and what you use to boot someone out of a match. It just makes more sense to me that it would be more present on PC. But anyway, almost every group I played with for Crucible or Trials of the 9, they've slammed swords like they were the Antichrist. Now, the sword, you know, it's a close range weapon. If you get within striking range, congrats, you've killed a player. And it's very hard to screw that up. But getting within range, that is a problem on some maps. Some are designed to be short distance, close quarter maps, so use a sword or an auto rifle or a submachine gun. Others long range engagement, so rocket launchers, scout rifles, sniper rifles. They're choice weapons for different scenarios. Yeah, some people have said if you use a sword it's cheap and you need to get better at the game, which is just a flashback to Call of Duty. Almost every Call of Duty game there was a handful of weapons you weren't supposed to use, or you couldn't use at least, without being called a scrub or a noob. And Destiny 2 is starting to look that way with swords, even though, in my personal opinion, I think they're fine as they are. Just run the hell away. Anyway, the other problem was aim assist and controller users on PC. And now I've tried using the controller on PC, and I tried the aim assist out, and I didn't turn into an instantaneously godlike PvPer, getting 10 or 20 more kills than usual. But I did notice that aim assist and it being more, I don't know, I was landing more consecutive hits on the head, but I was at a disadvantage in a lot of other areas, meaning I died a lot, like making turns when close quarters. So I kind of think it evens out. You get better target acquisition on the controller, and I think that's to combat mouse users who are more capable of more accurately training their crosshairs on you in the air or as you run across the map. They've got better reaction times. A controller doesn't have the speed of a mouse, even with sensitivity turned right up, and I'm used to controllers after playing Destiny 1 and other games. So, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. As I said, you know, that's just how I felt, and this is my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, I could be completely wrong. But, with all the videos out there, now with people offering their opinions on Destiny 2, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. Destiny 2 is in some ways more like a Destiny 1.5. It feels like another DLC for Destiny 1, in some ways at least, which isn't completely a bad thing. I think the developers want you to feel like you've walked out of Destiny 1 and straight into Destiny 2, like there's a seamless transition. And you're just continuing on with the storyline, and it's like they're trying to be consistent with the previous game, which, you know, as I said, I don't think is such a bad thing, at least in my opinion. A lot of sequels of games change things up. You know, you get new mechanics, you get new graphics, you get new stories, you get new style, you get new everything. And Destiny 2 kind of hangs on to what we were used to in Destiny 1, which kind of means it feels more comfortable to those who had played Destiny 1 anyway. I don't think Destiny 2 would have worked as well if they had changed everything up and revamped it, you know, and just gone this whole new route with everything. Even the raid feels like a raid from Destiny 1, but they did kind of go a new route with it, which I really enjoyed doing the Destiny 2 raid. But there are similar mechanics. For example, if you've ever played the Kingsfall raid from Destiny 1 and done the Annihilator totems and know how that works, there's almost an identical version of it in Destiny 2's raid, the Leviathan. There's a segment called the Royal Pools, and it's all about getting charges from the centre of the room and then relieving your teammates on the platforms they're holding down in the corner of the map, in all 4 corners of the map. So it's almost a copycat, but it does feel unique. So, I don't know. Like I said, this video is more like a review and hopefully not a rant. A lot of this video is just my opinion based on things that I've seen on Destiny 2 forums, Destiny 2 videos, conversations with players as I've played the game. And you're all going to have your own opinions of the game and probably of this video. You may like what I said, hate what I said, or be on the fence. You may just hate me for making a video about it. But, I don't know. So, I'm not a big YouTuber and this isn't the kind of video I do at all. It was just something I kind of wanted to try. I wanted to kind of try doing one of those review-ish kind of videos. It may have even ended up being more of a rant. Hopefully not, but yeah. I enjoy Destiny 2 and I do think it is a decent game, and it'll be interesting to see what the DLCs will do for the game and how it will change it and how people's opinions of it, what people's opinions of it will be. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it gave you some food for thought, and hopefully you enjoyed the Crucible match in the background, and hopefully it wasn't too painful. I'm not that great at PvP at all by any means. I do have the occasional decent game, but anyway, if you feel like it, you know where the comment section is. I'm not going to point towards it or put a big red arrow on screen for you. I'm sure you can find it if you really want to use it. But I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and you want to give the video a like, that's much appreciated. The same with subscribing. If you want to check out my other videos and make a decision for yourself about whether or not you want to subscribe, then that's up to you too. And as always, I hope you've had a great day, and I hope you can have a great week, and hopefully I get to see you in the next video, or maybe even on Destiny. Take care, guys.